So, thank you. You know, I've been given the gift of a wonderful life, and I never forget that. And I consider myself just a little girl from Chaffee, Missouri, trying to make a difference in the years the good Lord gives me. But you can imagine my surprise. On April 12th, at 7 p.m., I was on my way to the Oscar night, and I noticed I had a voicemail from Jan Roop to call her. And so I did. And Oscar night is our Cape Girardeau Public School celebration. It's lots of fun. And so I called her and I said, hey Jan, you know, what's up? And she said, well, not me. It's 2 a.m. and I'm in Italy. So I said, you know, I try to hang up very quickly because, you know, who wants to wake somebody up in the middle of the night in Italy? So she goes, no, I have something to tell you. And I said, well, we can talk another, no. And she's wide awake. And so she started telling me about this, and I just kept saying, I'm shocked. It's like I said, I'm shocked. I am so shocked. And she said, why are you shocked? And I said, because I'm shocked. I was very articulate that night. Anyway, that's all I could think of to say was, I'm shocked. And she said, she started singing my song, and she said, you don't understand. This has made the women of Zonta very happy that they have chosen you. And you know, I love to be responsible for other people's happiness, so. And you know, an organization like this that has done so much for so many, for so long, you know, both locally and the mission trips and, you know, on and all. So I would like to spend a few minutes just talking about, well, literally why I'm here would be my mom and my dad. And my dad, he kind of raised himself, and he would say I came from the school of hard knocks. So fast forward, he marries my mom, St. Juanita, and he has 7 kids. 5 of them are girls. I'm sure he's probably thinking, what in the world? 5 girls. But we had 5 girls, and so his idea of being a dad, when he really hadn't had much parenting himself, was that I'm going to give you guys everything you want or need, and when you grow up and go into the world, I want you to kick it in. I want you to go all out. I want you to put the pedal to the metal and make a mark. And we try to do that, all of us, by his inspiration. And then my mom, my dad was my motivation. I mean, growing up, childhood motivation, only word I can think of is my dad. But my mom is my heart. My kids are thinking, uh-oh, she's talking about her mother, it's gonna get messy. So, my mom is my heart. And she is, without a doubt, the most amazing, wonderful, unselfish. She never spent 1 second of her 81 years of life thinking about herself. And so my dad wanted us to go out there and conquer the world. My mom wanted her 7 kids, on the 4th, to make it to heaven and take as many people as possible with you. I really want to do that. I really want to do that. So, you know, I tell my kids all the time, you'll never regret anything you ever do to make your parents proud. And I feel that deeply to this day. My parents have been gone for a long time from my vision, but they're in my heart. And I carry them with me. And I tell my kids sometimes who don't seem very motivated at school, hey, if you don't feel the motivation, do it for your mom, do it for your dad, do it for your teacher, do it for me. Just do it for anybody, just do it. Assert yourself. You know, go for that, you know, high bar. Get on it. So, and then I'd like to introduce, I have a table here. So, my Kohlfeld, he worships the ground I walk on. up and they marry somebody like their dad. No. Well, I married somebody like my mom. Because he's the same way. Doesn't spend 1 second of any day thinking about himself. It's all about everybody else. And then, my magnum opus, my children, Cortland, Alexandra, and Parker. My greatest creations, those 3. And you know, I spent a lot of hours trying to help other people's children. They never had a problem with that. They never had a problem with that. They were proud of me. And they would say to me, how are your kids doing, Mom? Not talking about themselves, talking about all the other kids. But you know, I Googled this because I think this is kind of neat. The odds of having the children you have, the odds are 100 million to 1. 100 million to 1 to get the child you get. And I got my 3 favorite kids right here. So, I also want to talk about central office, all the central office, Dr. Glass and all the people over there, how kind and supportive they are to me and how much I appreciate them. I also want to recognize Krista Turner and all the elementary principals. We had great fun working together. They have started calling me Woman of the Century. I say I'm not 100 years old. But anyway, I appreciate all of them so much. We had so much fun. And then, of course, all the teachers. And you know, the only reason you get to be an effective leader is if people choose to follow you. They don't have to. And I have had such a blessing both at May Green and Blanchard with the cream of the crop of the teachers. And you know, they say you're only as strong as your weakest link. We don't have any weak links. We don't have any. And a lot of them have surprised me by being here. And I am in awe of them. And I have to work really hard because they deserve it. And I don't want to ever let them down. And then, of course, the children. You know, they're just angels. They're so well behaved and they try so hard. They know why they're in school. They want to do well. I tell them every morning, we're preparing for your future. You want it to be a good one. And they're amazing. So they come visit and see for yourself. So I want to close with a story. So when Jan Rip told me I was a Lifetime Achievement Award, I'm not a vain person, but I thought, am I old enough? You know, when you're around children all the time, you have this youthful exuberance. You think you're like 20. I could stitch ones that are this big. And so I think of myself as just, you know, like that high school cheerleader, right? So I did the math, and actually I am quite old enough to. But you know, I started thinking about the lifetime thing. And so, a few years ago, or maybe more than a few years ago, I like to stay up late, and I have to get up early, which sometimes that doesn't work out very well, but a few years ago, I was watching this show, and I don't know if you've probably never seen it before. It was called Poker After Dark. And it was this big room, it was dimly lit, and the best high-stakes poker players in the world. And for some reason, I found that very fascinating. And I don't play poker. And I thought that's kind of a life analogy. You know, that we're all sitting around that table of life. And here come the cards. And sometimes we get that, you know, that hand in your aces, 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 aces. This is a winning hand. Thank you. I can play this. And then sometimes you get a hand and you think, it's not a great hand, but if I play it skillfully, I can turn it into a winning hand. And then sometimes you get a hand and it's a loser. You know, like when the doctor says, I'm sorry, we can't do anything else for your mother. It's those loser hands. And I know a lot of you out there, you know what I'm talking about, live long enough. And you think, I'm not picking that up. I'm not picking that up. That's not my hand. I can't play that hand. That's a loser hand. I don't want that hand. Shuffle the deck. Give me another hand. Let's do this over. And no, it's yours. It's yours. And then the good Lord comes along and says, hey, You pick that up. And I'm going to help you play that hand. And then sometimes other people in our lives say, hey, pick up that rotten hand. And I'm going to help you play that hand. But at the end of the game, you got to sweep the table. You got to sweep the table. Don't leave anything on it. And know in your heart that every card you were dealt, you played it the best you can. Thank you.